Democracy. The democracy is a system of government where the people have the authority to choose their leaders and participate in decision-making through voting and representation. It promotes equality, protects individual rights, and allows for diverse viewpoints to be heard. In a democracy, leaders are accountable to the electorate, and there are mechanisms for peaceful transitions of power. Theocracy. The theocracy is a system of government where religious leaders or religious institutions hold political power and authority, and religious law is considered supreme. In a theocratic system, governance is based on religious principles and laws, and political decisions are often by religious beliefs and doctrines. Federalism. The federalism is a system of government where power is divided between a central government and smaller regional governments. It allows each level of government to have its own areas of authority while also working together on matters of common concern. This system helps balance the needs of diverse regions while promoting local autonomy and cooperation. Caliphate. The caliphate is a form of Islamic government led by a caliph, who serves as both a political and religious leader. The caliphate is governed by Islamic law, Sharia, and aims to uphold principles of justice and morality according to Islamic teachings. Historically, caliphates have been established to unite and govern Muslim communities, with the caliph considered the successor to the Prophet Muhammad. The concept of a caliphate has evolved over time and has been associated with various dynasties and periods in Islamic history. Gerontocracy. The gerontocracy is a form of government where political power is held by the elderly or senior members of society based on age and experience. In a gerontocracy, older individuals typically dominate decision-making processes and hold key positions of authority and influence. This form of governance values wisdom and experience, but it can also lead to challenges in representing the interests of younger generations and promoting innovation and change. Military junta. The military junta is a form of government where a group of military officers seize control of the state and rule by decree, often following a coup d'etat or overthrow of the existing government. In a junta, political power is concentrated in the hands of the military leadership, and civilian institutions may be suspended or controlled by the military. Parliamentary system. In a parliamentary system, the executive branch of government derives its legitimacy from and is accountable to the legislature, known as parliament. The head of government, often called the prime minister or chancellor, is typically the leader of the majority party or coalition in parliament. The parliament holds significant power in this system, including the ability to pass laws, approve budgets, and hold the government accountable through oversight and questioning. Emirate. The emirate is a form of government led by an emir who holds political and often religious authority in an Islamic context. Emirate governance is based on Islamic principles and laws, with the emir typically serving as both the political leader and the religious authority within the territory. Emirate governments can vary in their degree of autonomy and structure, ranging from absolute monarchies to more decentralized systems with elected councils. Confederation. The confederation is a union of independent states or regions that come together for specific purposes, such as defense or trade, while retaining their sovereignty and autonomy. Unlike a federation where power is shared between a central government and regional governments, in a confederation, the central authority is typically weaker, and member states have more control over their own affairs. Confederations are often formed by entities seeking to cooperate while maintaining a significant degree of independence. Oligarchy. The oligarchy is a form of government where power is concentrated in the hands of a small group of individuals or families. These individuals typically belong to a wealthy elite or ruling class and wield significant influence over political decisions and resources. Oligarchies often prioritize the interests of the ruling few over those of the broader population, leading to inequality and limited political participation for the majority. This form of government is characterized by limited accountability and can result in disparities in wealth and power. Socialism. Socialism is a system that advocates for shared ownership of key industries and resources. It aims to reduce economic inequality by distributing wealth more equitably and providing social services for the benefit of all citizens. Authoritarianism. The authoritarianism is a political system characterized by strong centralized power, limited political freedoms, and strict obedience to authority. It often involves a single leader or ruling party making decisions without significant citizen input. Communism. Communism is a social and economic ideology where resources and means of production are collectively owned by the community. In a communist society, there is no private ownership, and goods and services are distributed based on each person's needs, and the communism has only one belief: the destruction of capitalism within the nation, and the eventual creation of a communist society. Anarchism. Anarchism is an ideology inhabiting the bottom of the political compass that advocates for a society without rulers or constituted authority, with a focus on the notion of freedom. One universal and defining aspect of anarchism is opposition to the state and centralized bureaucratic governance, which they consider to be unjust. Aristocracy. The aristocracy is a social system where a small group of privileged individuals, often based on hereditary status, holds significant political and social power, influencing decisions and governance. Technocracy. The technocracy is a system where experts in various fields, particularly technology and science, play a central role in decision-making to address societal challenges and ensure efficient governance based on technical knowledge. Secularism. Secularism is the principle of separating religion from the government and other societal institutions. It promotes equality and ensures that no specific religious beliefs hold special privileges. Fascism. Fascism is a far-right political ideology characterized by dictatorial power, strong authoritarian control, extreme nationalism, and suppression of dissent. It often promotes a centralized government led by a single leader, emphasizes the unity of the nation, and can involve aggressive and expansionist foreign policies. And in their belief, the citizenry of the nation are weak divided, but strong united under the banner, whether that banner be of state, nation, army, or really anything of the like, much like the tight-bound sticks of a fascist. Nazism. Nazism was an extremist political ideology associated with the Austrian painters regime in Germany during the 1930s and 1940s. It emphasized extreme nationalism like fascism, but with racism and anti-Semitism. Nazism sought to establish a totalitarian state led by a single-party dictatorship, suppressing dissent and promoting the idea of an Aryan master race. Republicanism. Republicanism is an ideology advocating for a non-hereditary system of government, contrasting with monarchism. Its principles often adapt to specific contexts, differing from one country to another. However, a consistent aspect is its opposition to monarchist systems. Caesarism. Caesarism is a political ideology characterized by the dominance of a strong, charismatic leader who centralizes power and often undermines democratic institutions. This leader typically uses populist appeal and authoritarian methods to maintain control. Totalitarianism. Totalitarianism is a political ideology characterized by centralized control by a single party or leader, extensive government regulation and surveillance, suppression of individual freedoms, and often the use of propaganda and censorship to maintain power. It seeks to exert control over all aspects of public and private life, aiming for complete dominance and obedience from the population.